Hello and welcome to another planning appeal case study video. I'm John Peters, and in this video I'm going to explain how we overcame a recent refusal by Wiltshire Council for one of our clients. This planning appeal was to overcome the refusal for a commercial change of use of an existing building for the storage of lorries and trailers and operations ancillary to the use and or the repair and restoration of cars that was refused by local authority Wiltshire Planning Department. Our client was initially booked in for a free no obligation consultation to run through the refusal reasons that had been issued by Wiltshire Council and to evaluate if an appeal was viable or if an alternative was best suited for the client. The free no obligation consultation, which took around about 35 minutes, found that this case was viable to appeal to the Planning Inspectorate, taking the decision process away from Wiltshire Council Planning Department. This case was refused by Wiltshire Council for the following reasons. The use of the building and its surrounding land for the repair and restoration of cars constitutes a B2 industrial use, which is an employment use. The local plan's strategic aim to direct employment uses to locations that promote sustainable travel patterns, but the application site is located in a rural location outside of any defined settlement boundary and is remote from a wide range of services, facilities and means of public transport. The planning inspector in this case identified the main reason for this case was A, whether this is an appropriate location for the uses having regard to the development plan policy, and B, the effects on the character and appearance of the surrounding area. The inspector stated the following in the appeal decision. Although some residential uses are evident in the locality, the site is physically unrelated to any clearly defined settlement and the surrounding uses are principally agricultural. The site, although developed, clearly lies in the countryside both physically and for policy purposes. CP Policy 48 is directed to support rural life in several ways. It includes the permissive provision in respect for proposals to convert and reuse rural buildings for a variety of uses, including employment. The appeal is principally concerned with the reused rural building providing employment opportunities. It is therefore falls plainly within the policy's provision. However, the policy requires several criteria to be satisfied. Rural buildings also tend not to be close to services or directly served by them, a factor which the authors of the policy would surely have been aware of. A range of services are available in Cricklade, a settlement designated under the terms of the policy CP1 as a local service centre. It is about 2 miles or 5 minutes away by car. To my mind, it is reasonably accessible, bearing in mind the framework's acknowledgement that the opportunities to maximise sustainable transport solutions will vary between urban and rural locations. I note that the Cricklade Town Council commented on the application, which indicates that it considers the site to be within the town's sphere of influence. I am satisfied, however, that the visual barrier which the hedge represents could be strengthened by additional planting and landscaping, accompanied by a management plan to secure its well-being. This would be effective in ensuring that no harm would arise to the appearance of the locality or the landscape in general. I conclude that the appropriate safeguards, the continuation of the uses would not harm the character and the appearance of the locality. Accordingly, I find no material conflict with the provisions of criteria 2 of the CS policy CP48 or CP51 designed to protect local landscapes. Commercial applications like these can be tricky and many companies give up and seek a new location at great expense. This is often due to the timescales involved that can make these types of appeals less commercially viable. We completely understand that the planning process can be very frustrating, the costs involved, the time it takes and so on, but do remember we deal with this on a daily basis for others just like yourself. With planning appeals, experience matters. Our specialist appeal team, who handle over 2.5% of all planning appeals in England and Wales that are currently produced and submitted, start by producing a comprehensive and robust appeal statement that in this specific case covered 70 pages and just over 13,600 words. It's important to detail in the appeal statement where the local authority failed in their assessment of the case and how and where possible both local and national policies apply in favour of the appeal. Additionally, if possibly, bringing in similar cases that the Planning Inspectorate found in favour of at appeal. Obviously, with the back catalogue we have of wins, we're able to use these cases and what the inspector said in them as arguments as additionally to support the cases that we're working on. Once an appeal statement is completed, we send the document to our client asking them to check that they're happy for us to submit the case, and if we need to add any information that the client may have forgotten previously to supply, it's done at this point and the case is then submitted. It's vitally important that all documents and responses are submitted on time throughout the process, as failure to do so will result in the appeal not being successful, something we hear about often when people attempt an appeal for the first time. Always ensure you use a professional who has considerable experience of appeals. It is worth asking them for some recent successful planning appeal case studies like you'll find on our website. Due to the large number of cases we represent, we have a dedicated team that liaises with the Planning Inspectorate on a daily basis. For this appeal, an independent planning inspector from the Planning Inspectorate visited the site on the 8th of November, and we're pleased to confirm that the appeal was upheld and the permission granted on the 16th of December in a 6-page appeal decision notice. If you'd like to find out if we can help you with your planning appeal, complete our online form on our website www.planningappealsuk.com, and our new case support team will arrange for a free, no obligation consultation with one of our planning appeal assessment professionals. Thank you for taking the time to watch this planning appeal case study video, and I look forward to producing another one very shortly. Bye for now.